Okay, so before I go to the next slide, right, to help you better understand why I'm deriving in such a way, right? Okay, the first thing I think you all can write down is this. Okay, just remember density is mass over volume. So mass is density times volume. Okay, so volume means what? Volume means it can be rho times length times breadth times height. Agree? Alright? Or it can be equal to density times your length times your area. Okay? So more importantly, what I'm looking for, right, is this, okay, your length times area. Later you understand what I'm saying. Alright? And the second thing is this is always respect to time. Okay? So in this case, right, because I'm not looking at mass times velocity only, I'm looking at mass times velocity, then divide by time again. Okay, so there's always the additional time that you must consider also. Okay? Take note here that what I'm doing is momentum. Momentum, you all know the formula for momentum, right? It's always mass times velocity, mass times velocity. Right? Okay. So let me try, okay, let's go through this together. Whatever I'm doing now, okay, is only for the x momentum. Right? So I'm just looking at the x-axis. Okay, your y and z, right, I don't consider, but we can interpolate or we can extrapolate and think that, right, if I do the x correctly, the y and z will be the same answer also. Right, because it's three-dimensional, so all the sides will be the same. Alright, so let's just focus on the x component. Okay, so I think I've given this diagram to you. So just now, if you remember, right, when I did the circulation, okay, I give you x, dx, and dy, correct? Now for this box, right, okay, I give you 2 dx and 2 dy. Okay, maybe just to prove a point to you that it doesn't really matter whether you use x or y, or dx or dy, or 2 dx or 2 dy, the answer will still be the same. Okay, so I have a dimension of 2 dx and 2 dy. Okay, I got 4 surfaces here. Okay, your P, Q, R, and S. So P and Q represents your left to right. R and S is bottom and top. Okay, so like all the things that we do, right, at the center of the control volume, okay, I have a U velocity. Okay, I also have a V velocity because it's 2-dimensional. Okay, but like what I say, we are more concerned about just the U component. So if you think about this, what is the velocity that's passing by surface Q? Would anyone this short for me? What would be the velocity that's passing through Q surface?
U plus du.
It will be what? U plus the gradient of du over dx multiplied by dx, right? What's dx now? Because from the center to the surface, right, is what? Dx, right? It's half of 2x, 2dx, right? That's why I got my dx here. Okay? Now I do the same thing for the P surface, right? Okay, it will be u minus du dx times dx also. Okay? So if I do the top, right? Okay. Now why do I have 2 terms here? Okay. This is more important to me because this is what I'm looking for, the x component. So my u plus how does my u change in respect to y? Okay, multiplied by the change in the y distance. Okay, and also right for the bottom will be negative. Okay, why do I need these 2 terms here? These 2 terms here, right, is for me to find the area. Okay, in the previous slide, remember, I told you guys that to find the mass flow rate, okay, I need to know the length times the area. Okay, so I need that additional information, okay, in the y direction, okay, in both the R and S surface, for me to find what is the area that the flow is passing through here. Understand what I'm saying? Okay, so if you think about this, right, this is almost the same thing because my V is here. So that means, right, to find the V that's passing through here, that means the delta V, if I like. Okay, that means what's the change here? Right? I need to have this V plus dV dy times dy. Okay, but really, right, the more important thing for me is all the U components. How does U change with respect to X? Okay, and how does U change with respect to Y? Okay? So this is the first thing that you must establish. So right, if you want to do dx, dy, okay, by all means, you will still get the same answer as me. Right? It's just that your answer, you have a lot of half, but you still be cancelled off. Okay, so you still get the final answer here. So what's the meaning of momentum? So momentum is mass times velocity, right? Okay, so mass we all know, right, is density times volume, right? So volume is x times y times z, right? But the thing is, we are looking at a 2-dimensional analysis. So it can only be 2 dx times 2 dy. okay, per unit length, per unit z direction. So this is that density times your volume, okay, times your velocity. So that's your momentum. So if I simplify this, right, okay, the total momentum that I should have is 4 dx dy times rho times u. Okay, so that's momentum. But if I want to know the rate of change of momentum in the x direction, then therefore, right, I need to do this with respect to time. Okay, so this is the first box that I have. Okay, this first box, okay, is, let me just go back now. Is this first box here? First box here. Okay, whatever that's changing within the control volume, very simple, right? So now we can try to do right for the surface that's going in and for the surface that's going out. Okay, let's try for the first one first. Okay, the in and then going out in the x direction. Alright, so how do we actually quantify these two values? Okay, so let's try for surface P. Okay, so where is P? P is actually in this direction here. Okay, so what does this term mean here? You have your rho, okay, you have your, this is 2 dy, right? Where is this 2 dy coming from? This 2 dy actually is this dimension here, right? Just now, right, remember when we do the control volume within the surface, right, we take 2 dx times 2 dy. But for this case, on this surface itself, we can take 2 dy times by what is this velocity here, right? Because what's the dimension of the velocity is meters per second, right? What's the dimension of 2 dy? It's also meters, right? So meters times meters per second is meters squared per second. It's still your area, right? So from dimensional point of view, okay, this here represents your volume. Okay, so density times by your volume. Okay, right? Which is our volume? Is volume rate, volume flow rate. So it's volume per second. Okay, as I said, it's two-dimensional because we're looking at 2D point of view, right? So we can take the x times the y. Okay, so we can think about this, right? This density times volume, okay, per second. Then what is this term here? What will be this last term there? What is this equal to? This is your velocity, very good. Okay, so this here is your velocity. Okay, so if I work out the dimensions, right, it's simply what? The rate of change of momentum with respect to time. Because volume times density is your mass, mass times velocity is momentum. Momentum divided by the per second, it gives me what? The rate of change of momentum with respect to time. Alright? So the next step, right, is just very simple, just your math only. So rho is constant, dy and 2 are constant also. Okay, so we can just take u times du dx and just expand the bracket out. Okay, we have this term here. Let me just erase this. Okay, so when you get this term, right, as far as we are concerned, because if you can appreciate the change, right, whether it's delta u or delta x, it's actually a very small term. Okay, it's going to be less than 1. So if you do a square of a very small term, okay, the term actually is negligible. It's almost equal to 0. So for us to simplify the equation, okay, we always consider the square term, right, to be negligible. Okay, to be assumed to be 0. Therefore, the final term that we have, right, will just be equal to this. Okay. The second and third set is not that critical to me. I think the first set is very important. You must be able to understand what I'm doing here. Okay, the first term, second term, and third term represents the volume flow rate, volume per second. Okay, because the volume flow rate times density is your mass per second. So mass per second times velocity is the rate of change of momentum. Okay, with respect to time. Okay, so we can do for the P term, right? What's the P term? The P term is actually the flow that is going into the surface. Q term will be the flow that is going out of the surface. So therefore, okay, we can do the same thing for Q, okay, which I never do the derivation, but it's the same thing. Just that instead of being a minus here, it becomes a plus. Yeah. Okay, so that's why the terms are all plus here. So if you do a summation of these two terms, right, you realize that this term and this term here will cancel out. Okay, so that means the rate of change going in and out from the surface of P and Q simply is just equal to this. Okay, 4 times density delta U square over delta X dx dy. Okay? Are you all good with this? Okay, huh? So if you do the analysis, right, okay, let me just go back to the diagram. Okay, for this direction here, okay, your P and your Q, you can do likewise for my R and for my S also. Okay, so if I do the same thing, okay, going through R here, okay, so you can see, right, why do I need this? This is a change in dimensions in the Y direction. So in essence, this is also your volume per second, okay, because it's the length times the breadth, okay, or the length times the width if you want. Okay, so that's a change of volume with respect to the time. And you take density times volume, right, you get mass per second. Alright, and this is your velocity. Okay, so I will just explain this if I can. Okay, the second and the third term represents the change of volume with respect to time. Okay, if you take volume with respect to time times density, right, you get mass with respect to time. Right? You take mass divided by time times velocity, right, which I have written here. It's really just change from mass times velocity with respect to time. Okay, so this is actually still it's very consistent, it's still your force. Alright. If you're still not sure, right, the best way to do this is 4 by dimensions. Okay, you realize that this is just simply your volume with respect to time. Because V here, right, is velocity, right? So there's always the per second in that. But velocity is just meters per second. So meters times meter is 2 meters squared per second. Right? So the rest is very simple. Okay, once we know that we can get this equation out, dx and rho is a constant value. Okay, the rest is just simplification. Again, right, because we have the velocity gradient is a very small value. When you multiply these two together, okay, it's still a very small value also. So we always ignore the second order. Alright, and then the simplification is this. So we can do for P, Q, R, right? We can do the same thing for S. So S, where's S? S is the top surface, right? Okay, so S, if it's the top surface, you do the addition. Okay, you get this term here. Okay, therefore, right, if I do a simplification, that means if I do a summation of the flow, the rate of change of momentum passing through R and S, okay, that's the answer that I have. Okay? Everyone okay? Yeah. So, as I said, this is very important. You must learn how to derive this, please. Okay? Even if you don't do it for this exam, you'll still use it for this exam. So, if you recall back this statement that I've written, right? The rate of change of momentum within a control volume plus whatever that's going in minus whatever that's going out equals to the net force that we have. So, these 3 boxes here, I've already derived for you already. Okay, so this first term, okay, is this. So, this first term, okay, is the first box. This second term is the second box, and obviously the third term is the third box. How do we know, right? Actually, it's very simple. If you look at the third term, for example, okay, there's a certain V here.
Oh, wow.
Okay, why is there a V? Because you're looking in the vertical direction. Okay, why is there a U square here? Because you're looking in the X direction. Right. So this is just telling us that we are looking at from left to right. This is from bottom surface to top surface. Okay. Now the good thing is this, in all the equations here, right, 4 is a constant value, so we can take out 4. dx, dy are the dimensions of the box that we are considering. Okay, so they're also a constant value. Okay, so we can take out the factors here. The rest, right, are just your differential equation. Okay, how does your rho and your u change with time? U square change with space, and your u change with space. Okay, so these terms here represents the first three boxes here, alright? And this is equal to the last box here. Alright, so the question is this: what is this force equals to? Yeah. So just like in the first slide I said to you, right, these forces can be what? It can be gravity, it can be magnetic field, okay, it can be pressure field, it can be stress and like that. So we can actually now consider, for example, right, okay, gravity force. Okay, even for aircraft that's flying, okay, all the aircraft is subject to what? Gravity also. Right, so the lift must at least be equal to the gravity because we're going to deform, right? So gravity is very important. Okay, so gravity is very simple, but the problem is what we have just considered for the boundary layer. Remember the boundary layer? We say, right, if there's a shear stress, okay, that will cause what? It will cause things to rotate, right? When it's rotation, what? It will cause what? It will cause drag. Drag is what? Drag is a force, right? So we must be able to consider what this drag force equals to. So that's why surface forces, in this case, we are really looking at drag forces, okay, are actually more complicated to calculate. Okay, not just about drag, but you also talk about your tension force, that means the pressure acting on the surface, okay, whether it's a compression or tensile force, right? These are things that will affect the control volume analysis. Okay, so let's consider this box again. Okay, just now we have the velocity, right? But now we must also consider things like your pressure forces. Okay, but we must also consider this thing called the shear stress. Okay, now shear stress is given by this symbol here, which is sigma. Okay, now you notice, right? I have y, x, x, y, x, x. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, so as a rule of thumb, right, we can actually define this by this. The first letter, okay, is always considered as the shear stress normal to what surface. Okay, so you can think right about it. Right? This is telling us, right, this shear stress is normal to the x surface, but acting in the y direction. Okay, this shear stress is normal to the y surface, acting in the y direction. Okay, this shear stress here on the same surface is normal to the y surface, but obviously because in this direction, right, so it's acting in the x direction. Right? So on all the four surfaces here, okay, you have different shear stress acting. Right? One is perpendicular to the surface, one is parallel to the surface. All the direction is very consistent. Right? So you always have two components here. Right? So we can actually simplify this again because you see, right, you have your u and v. Okay? We can actually simplify this now to say that, okay, what is the surface here after from if this is my y-axis here, okay, because I move a distance of what? 2 dy, okay, I have a 2 dy value here. Okay, this is my x-axis here, okay, I also can find the change from this particular location to this location. So from P to Q, the direction is actually 2 dx. That's why I got 2 dx. This is just saying the gradient of the shear stress with respect to x direction. Okay, so if I want to do a summation of forces again, okay, the final answer I will have is again a very simple equation. It's just 4 times of this in the x direction, and then for the y direction, okay, it's the same thing, just 4 times. How do I know whether it's in the x direction or vertical direction? Okay, is this variable here. This is yx, this is xx. This is over delta x, this is over delta y. Alright, so to do this, right, I will not go through because it's the same steps that you will do, right, for your velocity. Alright. So what we have done, right, is for the shear stress and also, okay, for your pressure field. So for your pressure field, right, okay, by doing the same analysis, okay, we will still get the final answer. Okay, so you can see, right, all the things that we do, right, is always 4 times. Okay, because actually there are 4 surfaces here. Okay, so when we do a summation of forces, right, okay, it's 4 by 4. Right? So as I said, right, we have control volume, rate of change of momentum inside the control volume through the surfaces equals to the external forces. The external forces are 3 things that are considered: the gravity, the shear stress, and also your pressure force. Alright? So we can actually now group all these things together. Right? So just now, if you can recall this slide here, okay, I derived this for you, which is equals to your external forces here. And the external forces, right, are the 3 forces that I mentioned: gravity, shear stress, and also pressure force. Alright? So actually this red box here will be equal to the 3 terms here. Okay? Now because right, we are looking in a two-dimensional force, two-dimensional case, okay, we don't need to consider gravity at this point. That's why the gravity force is not put here. Alright? So you can see right, the terms are actually quite easy to memorize if you want. Okay, because this tells us the shear stress in the x direction. This tells us the shear stress in the y direction. Okay, this is pressure force in the x direction. Why is it all in the x direction? Because from the very first page, right, we say we only consider x component. Okay, later you will see the full expression of all the equations. Because if I do the analysis for x, right, okay, the answer will be the same for y, the answer will be the same for z also. Alright, so this is just only for my x component. So I can now equate, right, this 1, 2, 3 equation with this 1, 2, 3 equation. Okay? Now this is where I think you need to follow me closely. Okay, so this is how I get the final equation here. But what you can appreciate is this. There's 4 dx dy, there's 4 dx dy, 4 dx dy, 4 dx dy. So what can we do? We can cancel out, right? At the end of the day, this equation, right, is a classical equation. That means, right, it is regardless of your dimension of the box that you set at the start. Whether you use dx dy or 2dx 2dy or half dx half dy, okay, the answer, right, is always independent of the control volume dimension. Okay, so this equation here, okay, is where we can actually start to simplify the equation. Okay, so as you can see, right, we have delta rho u. That means, right, it can be a partial derivative of rho or can be a partial derivative of u. Right, same for this, there's a u squared, there's a uv here. So we can actually simplify these equations now. Alright, so for those who printed this in black and white, right, maybe you can't see clearly, but actually I actually color code all the equations here. Okay. So let's look at the first term here. Okay, this tells me what? I can keep my density constant. Okay, I can differentiate my velocity, right? But I can also keep my velocity constant. I differentiate my density. Okay, so if you look at the rate term here, I can actually do an expansion here into 2 additional terms. Right? Okay, so I do a partial derivative here, okay, where I keep one constant and differentiate the other. Okay, plus I do it vice versa for this term. So I can do the same thing for the red, the blue, and the green. Okay, if it's printed in color. Okay, so for this is quite simple because it's u square, right? You can actually take out one u, differentiate one u, then take out the other u, differentiate u, or you can do it with the one row u. So you really just get 2 rho u du dx. So what I'm doing, right, is not physics or free mechanics anymore. I'm just explaining the math equation, okay, so that later you understand why I'm doing this, because I can simplify them. Alright. So the last time is the same thing. Okay, I can actually differentiate u first. I keep my v constant, or I can differentiate v first and keep my u constant. Alright. So I can expand into 2 terms. So I probably make our life a little bit more complicated by expanding the terms here for now. Okay, but later on you'll see that it can be cancelled or group together. Okay, so these 3 terms here, right? Okay, in the end it become how many terms? It can become what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms, right? Okay, so I can actually write this now as 6 terms here. So what's the purpose of doing this? Okay, the purpose is this. If you can notice, I have a rho du dt. Okay, I have a rho u dx. I have a rho u du dx. What else do I have? I have a rho u dy. So all these terms here, right, has got some rho inside. So rho is a density value, right? So it can be factorized out. Right? So what I can do right now is to actually do some factorization. So these 6 terms here, okay, if I can group them together, right, okay, I can make this into these terms here. Rho du dt, rho du dx, okay, and rho v du dy. Okay, there's a reason for doing this. You can recall, right, there's a du dx that we started off at the very start of this lesson, okay, by continuity equation. Okay, you can see here du dx plus dv dy. What is this equals to? This is a continuity equation, right? If I say it's an incompressible flow, this will become what? 0 already. Alright, so this will be simplified. Okay, if I say it's a steady flow, this term also equals to 0. Okay, so there's a reason why we are doing this, yeah? So, exactly what I'm saying here, right? If I now tell you I'm looking at an incompressible steady flow, okay? This term here will be cancelled out. Okay, so that means, right, my left hand side here, okay, this term here, these 3 terms here that I have, right, becomes this term here. Okay, because instead of having so many variables inside the differential equation, right, now it's not very simple. It's just du dt, du dx, du dy. Just one variable that differentiating. Because by our assumptions, right, when it's an incompressible steady flow, these terms here will be cancelled out. Yeah. So instead of writing so many terms here, right, I can just write this as rho du dt plus u du dx plus v du dy equals to my external forces here. Okay, so this is the final equation, okay, that I have, right, for my x momentum analysis. Okay, are we all okay? Have I lost all of you already? Yes, you all need to try to derive this. Okay, if you cannot write this kind of say, I will derive this anyway. But the essence of this, right, is really by conservation of momentum. So once I get the x direction to be correct, okay, I can then do this for not just the x direction, but I can also do this for the y direction. So you notice, right, if I now do for the y direction, okay, I add a g value here. Okay, why do I add a g value here? Because it is for gravity. Okay, because x is x direction, y is the particular direction. Okay. So if I want to even do for the z direction, right, I can do the same thing also. Alright? So the question is this. Now you can see from here, right? I got so many terms, 1, 2, 3 terms, 4, 5, 6 terms, right? So I got y direction, I got 6 terms again. I got z direction, I also got 6 terms. Yeah. So how can we actually simplify this equation? So there's this thing called a total derivative. Okay. You all have learned du, dy, for example. This is your differentiation. You all learned delta u, delta y. This is your partial differentiation, right? The last one you learn, right, is this. Okay, capital D. Capital D represents our total derivative. Okay, so we need to say, right, if I write a u here, okay, it actually represents every single term, okay, that is in this equation here. Okay, what do I mean by this, right? Is this, I'll explain to you. So total derivative, right, okay, is what we talked about just now. Okay, the Lagrangian view. Okay, if I individually do, right, it's an Eulerian view. Alright? So when let's say if I, for example, if I put a u here, so all these things will be u. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of writing 4 terms, I write 1 term, right? Okay, mathematically it represents all the 4 terms I'm looking for. Okay? Now what are all these terms here? You know when you talk about du dx, du dy or dv dx, dv dy, right? What do all these terms mean? These terms, right, when you're looking at velocity respect to space, okay, they are known as a convective rate of change. Okay, that means they are velocity gradient, okay, or sometimes we call this as convective acceleration. Meaning to say it's not, because when we learn acceleration, we always think that acceleration is velocity with respect to time, correct? Okay, but if velocity changes with respect to space, okay, it's known as convective acceleration. Okay, can you please write this down? Okay, this is known as convective acceleration. Okay, any variables for the velocity component that changes with respect to space is known as a convective acceleration. Okay?
Changes with respect to space is convective acceleration.
Or any variables of the velocity component, whether it's u, v, or w, right, that changes with respect to space, that means x, y, or z, is known as the convective acceleration. Anything that changes with respect to time, okay, is known as local acceleration. That means really just for acceleration, right? Because it's velocity with respect to time. Local acceleration. Because the rate of change of acceleration, acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. So that's why this is known as local acceleration. The first three terms is a convective acceleration.
Convective.
Acceleration.
Okay, just a few more slides. Okay, you all hang on. Okay, I'm so very tired already. We're all tired. Okay, so ouch. 2 more minutes here. So like what I written here, right? If I put a u here, it represents all the variables that has got a u's here. So meaning to say, right? Now if I just expand for you, for example, okay, if I have a total derivative, right? If I put a u here, okay, you will see all this. Actually, it represents all these 4 terms here. Okay, your u, v, w, which all has terms by the velocity equation of u respect to x, y, and z. Okay, or your v and w. Okay, so if you read in books, right, sometimes they put a capital D, right? It actually means all the 4 terms there. Right? So that's the thing of total derivative. So instead of writing all the 4 terms, right, you are being lazy, right? Just write 1 term here, but you put a capital D, so people understand what you're trying to say. Okay? Okay, so just now, right, we have discussed, right, we have gotten these values here. Okay, so this equation here, right, is no different from this equation here. It's the same thing here. Okay, this is what we have derived already. Alright, so we can actually simplify this equation here because if you see, right, total derivative of u respect to time has got u du dx, okay, has got v du dy, and also du dt here. Alright, because this is 2-dimensional, right, that means this term is what? Cancel off, okay. So this is what we have derived. Okay, these 2, right, are for the y and z direction. So we don't consider this. Okay, but our analysis, right, is just for the x direction. So I just want your attention to come from this equation to this equation here. Okay? So that means, right, instead of having to write 1 term, 2 term, 3 terms, right, what can we do? We can actually represent these 3 terms into my total derivative, correct? Okay, so to make life easier for you, if I now assume, okay, an incompressible case and an inviscid case. Okay, what's mean on inviscid? There's no viscous force, right? If there's no viscous force, what does it mean? That means what? This whole term will be equal to 0, right? That's why you can see, right, my equation becomes very simple here. It's just my dp dx. Where is this rho from? I just take this rho, multiply to the left hand side here. Okay, so I get this equation. Yeah? Okay, I can do for the same for y. Okay, say again. Sorry. And the last one, right, okay, is when you have a z gravity. Okay? So, to further simplify this equation here, okay, you can see from here, right, there's a rho capital D u dt, rho capital D v dt, and rho capital V w dt, right? Okay, so what is UVW? UVW are what? Your velocity components, right? Okay, so I can actually write this now as a capital V velocity vector because this V velocity vector, right, consists of my U, V, and W. Alright, so I can combine them together. Okay? Now you can see from here, right, there's a delta P, delta X, delta P, delta Y, and delta P, delta Z, right? What is this? This is a grad of a scalar field. So I can write this as grad of a pressure field, which is a scalar field here. Okay, the gradient of a scalar field. Because pressure is a scalar quantity. Okay? The last term, right, is just rho G. Why I put a K here? Because we're looking at gravity in the K direction. Okay, if you draw a box, right? Okay, you have your X, Y, Z, right? It's your gravitational force, right? Okay, so this term is just your grad of a scalar field. Okay, I'm just combining all these together.
Grad.
Okay, and this term, right, is actually a very famous equation, okay, known as the Euler's equation.
Yay! My best friend. Now
Who's best friend?
just started, right?
Who's best friend?
Hey, the best friend. I high already.
So in the exam question, right, okay, let me just explain to you why is this important. Sometimes, okay, if you at a paper, right, they will give this equation to you, okay, and you're supposed to expand the equation out. So you need to know what does all these terms mean, right, for you to be able to expand this out. Okay, so in exam, normally it's x, y, and z direction, so you need to do all these three terms here, but the idea is for you to understand what does all these terms mean first. Alright? And obviously, right, they can also ask you things like, what is du dx? What is du dy? You must know that it's convective acceleration. Okay, and what is du dt? It's your local acceleration. Okay? Now, what is delta p delta x equals to? What is that? What is delta p delta x?
Change of pressure.
Your pressure gradient. Okay? This is very important also. Flow, right, always goes from high pressure to low pressure. So that means to say, right, people always say that if there's a pressure difference, there will be a velocity. Okay, so that's the reason why there's velocity. Because when you have pressure difference, right, from a high pressure to low pressure, it causes the velocity to change. That's why there's a velocity gradient. Okay, that's how a compressor works. That's how turbine works. Because when you compress air, right, the speed will increase with times. Yeah, because there's a pressure gradient. Okay, so delta P delta X represents your pressure gradient. Okay, please think about this also. Right, this is very important. So I just want to go through one last slide. Okay, the rest I will finish next week. Okay, so the thing is, right, so what if we know the Euler's equation? Okay, so one of the very simple derivation we can come up from this, right, is to actually derive the Bernoulli's equation from the Euler's equation. Okay, so before I even derive this for you, okay, can I just ask you to highlight a few things? The assumption for Bernoulli's equation is always incompressible and divisible. Okay, so please highlight these two things here. If not, you cannot do it. Okay. So the Bernoulli's derivation is also quite rigorous. I want to keep this for next week. I think we have done enough for today. Okay, so I think I will stop here. Okay, but please take note. Okay, we have a few more slides to go through for this. Yeah. Any other thing?
With gravity force in the downward direction. Any other direction? Downward side, some people the gravity of force change the way now.
Wow, okay. Nothing okay about this, bro.